King here, back here once again. You saw the title of the video. Is Ippo a good second? Now this is something I just thought of right now, right off the bat. Especially seeing like some of the comments from my previous video. I didn't think about this until now, but let's go back to the beginning. Ippo says his retirement after losing to Antonio Guevara. He retires, he hangs up the glove. We already know that Ippo's an excellent boxer. He has the technique, he has the power, he has the speed, he has the IQ, he has the basic attributes. That should have been all he needed to beat Antonio, but sadly his heart wasn't there. His mind was not right, and other outside internal factors just Ippo wasn't gonna win that fight no matter which way. But Ippo decided, hey, let's become a second after Shinoda asked him. After Ippo's mother, my goodness, exposes that Shinoda like to hang out with the prostitutes. No, no, wait, someone knows? Someone knows? It's her. No, no. You always gotta watch out for the most normal ones, alright? Usually someone would be a little bit strange, but the most normal ones, like Ippo mother, oh Jesus, no, there's always some deeper intent. But let's start off from the beginning. Ippo as a second, his first incident, his first few days of a second. And Kogama wasn't there. It was just Yagi, Shinoda, and him, and he was just simply the chairman for Kimura's match against. I cannot recall why Kimura was dealing with weight management, and since he spent all night banging his chair on his deck, so I was surprised his mother didn't come in there and say calm it down. But after all that, he throws the chair and nearly kills somebody in the audience. And then the second time he plays it in sideways, even messing up Kimura's mentality even more. And then it boils up to the point Kimura calls Shinoda a pervert, and Kimura's like, after all these years I put in for you, you call me a pervert, forget this, you're in there on your own. Now after this encounter, Ippo did get better. Like you see his improvement with a Yoki, and he literally brought Kimura back from the face of death, going through one of the hardest weight managements we've ever seen throughout the entire series, putting Takamura versus Bryant to shame to a certain degree, because Kimura was pretty much a zombie. He was an actual zombie. And then like, he was a zombie. He actually somehow took Kimura from mid-grade to high-grade if he was to continue to work on that Dragonfish blow. That tactic alone with Kimura was fantastic. Like seriously, Kimura with that weight management, in my opinion, probably had a 12% chance with Shinoda purely being in his corner. Because Shinoda, he is a good coach to a point, but he's not really a good coach to help fighters improve like Kogami is. Yeah. He's not really there. Because usually Aoki or Kimura come up with something on their own, and then Shinoda will help honing in, and like along with the rest of the guys at the gym. But really to help, like to come up with it by himself, he's not that guy. That's like an Ippo Kogami thing. So he's not an awful coach, but he's not the most creative one out of all of them, man. And the way that the Dragonfish roll below up top, and then like the last moment, like Kimura's year, I said, yeah. He reversed it, blam to the body. He goes down, goes Goodman. Down goes Goodman. Down goes Goodman. But out of everybody Ippo was a second for, there was always that one person, that one specimen who somehow I could never understand. That same, I've already made multiple, and I do mean multiple, just check the playlist, multiple upon multiple videos about Itagaki is slum, Itagaki is talent, things like that. But it just seems like out of every single person Ippo has been a second to, it seems like no matter what he does, Itagaki can't get it. It seems like no matter what he does, how many he trains, how he try to scold him with the coach, it seems like Ippo and Itagaki are literally incompatible. Cause look at him compared to Yamada. Yamada was getting it. Yamada was becoming better. He actually learned the little blow from Ippo just by seeing it like twice in close up and not just seeing it in the ring. He's just like, Yamada got better. But Itagaki, his second student, is Mr. Kronos himself is the biggest problem child I've ever seen. Coming in there with the wrong intention. Amai came into the gym just to attempt to murder Ippo. He admires Ippo, but it's like an Israel out of sign versus damn it. And they like Silver, bingo. It's just like, I admire you, but I'm here to decapitate you. It's nothing personal. And that's what Amai's there for. With Itagaki, he want to be Ippo's friend. Itagaki's want to be everything best to Ippo. He dedicate his life to Ippo. He portray his own fighting style of rhythm for Ippo. It's just like, why are you doing this? Who made you like this? Who done this to you? It was recently in a recent fight that both Shinoda and Ippo looked like an idiot trying to both say something towards Itagaki at the same time, on which I'm most embarrassed that I defended Shinoda. I can't defend that. I can't defend what Shinoda just did there. You are a veteran, you making rookie mistakes. At least Ippo's an idiot. What's your excuse? Come on, Johnny. Come on, damn it. I defended Shinoda, man. Maybe it was just slip up, who knows. But it really made me rethink. Because besides from like Itagaki, he's been an alright, pretty decent Seki. He's like on the same level as Yanagi. You know, he's not a head coach material like Shinoda, or he's nowhere close to Kurogama. Besides from bringing back Kimura from the Faces of Death, besides from that, he's not on that Kurogama level as much as he wants to be. But I've started to think, what is the true cause for Itagaki's slump? Because we all know that Ippo sparred with Itagaki countless times, or Yoki Kimura sparred with Itagaki countless upon countless times. And then I started to think to myself, I started to ponder, when did Itagaki's slump truly start? Because I said, oh, it's when he lost. It's when he lost against Amai, things like that. I thought about that. But after he lost to Amai, it didn't really break him up like that. He was more or less, he was disappointed of how he performed in front of Ippo instead of him actually losing. What makes you wonder if that's the case. And then Itagaki later goes on a take on Sayeki. I could be wrong about that. He goes on to have his own match after that. But what are the chances that the true cause for Itagaki's slump is just Ippo himself? Now, somebody said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? If you think about it, right? If you truly think about it, the slump only really became a major thing after Ippo announced his retirement. Sure, he lost to Amai for the Japanese championship, but as far as I remember, it wasn't immediately afterwards. Well, you know, Itagaki's in a slump. It was really only mentioned after after Teihei showed up and Kimura and Aoki got them hemorrhoids. That is when Itagaki's slump was mentioned. Back around those chapters, back around like the 1220s, like 1230s, somewhere around there. It was only around there where it's like, oh, Itagaki's in a slump. And we never got a reason behind why he's in a slump. Now, I'm not going to get that. And you think about it. Since this slump does correlate to Ippo's retirement, since Itagaki was trying to beat Ippo's speed records of taking on his former opponents like Kuwasawa and Sayeki, it makes you wonder if Itagaki is suffering from the same syndrome Miyata is. Because think about it. Miyata have every reason to be in the state he is in. After all the sacrifices, after all the back-to-back weight management and weight control, even then, even I still believe they could still have that fight, even if Miyata still moved a weight class, but it's just pure the fact that Ippo retired. Arguably, if you truly look at it, only 2 people has benefited from Ippo retiring, and that's Mishima and Senda. When you think about it, look at Mishima's career. He's finally going onto the world stage in his preliminary against Juan Garcia. We got Sendo's inches away from a world title match himself. And look at Wally. Wally's getting his own world title match. Like, come on, Johnny. It's like everybody is benefiting from Ippo's retirement, besides from Miyata and besides from Itagaki. Now, some might say Amai, but Amai just had an excellent title defense, and I can't help to feel bad for Hoshi. Hoshi, what happened? What happened? Well, you look at it, you analyze the evidence, right? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe the tinfoil hat is strapped down too tight. But I honestly think the true cause for Itagaki's slump is Ippo and his retirement. Because I've come up with my own reasons and this and that. How his embarrassment. How could he lose to Amai? He was called Kronos. He was giving up so much hype to get Millie Rock shocked and dropped and KO'd in the first round. It's just like it had to be because of that. Alright, I'm back. Now that you think about it, like I said before, isn't it quite strange that Itagaki has no intentions, has no type of drive to actually fight Amai? Like, it just can't be me who's noticed this. Over all these chapters, like Itagaki go through mud fight for the peanut gallery, and somehow, some form of way, for some reason, besides from being like a little antsy around Amai potentially losing to Hoshi, why is like Itagaki trying to go for a little shot at the title? What is he do? Like, who is he trying to fight? When he's going to finally have his rematch? But if you think about if Amai wasn't his true goal, If you think about it, that Amai was just a warm-up to the main dish, to the main, like even Amai's traumatized by Ippo's retirement to a certain degree, but he's not feel like a slum. It's not like he's going through mud fights like Miyata or Itagaki is. He's still destroying opponents first round back to back. So if you think about it, maybe it's just me. Maybe the tinfoil hat is strapped on too tight, but I'm throwing out $5. Like I said before, it's Ippo that's the problem. It is always that Ippo is the problem. Always, 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 always. Ever since Ippo, like even like think about it, it's always been Ippo. Ippo's not giving him enough credit. Ippo's doing this and that. Ippo got a girlfriend that I kind of wish like Nanako has a reason to be jealous. Ippo, Itagaki doesn't. It is just like it's not like he hasn't been on dates with anybody else. But why like Kumi like the way he does? And then that date he had with Mari is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. I've never seen a woman so disinterested in a man in my entire life. That was sad. Arguably, someone need to get me a box of Kleenex. Cause that was tragic. Cause you just look at Mari, just like, yeah, I'm here for the interview. This is a fun time date. Nah, I'm here for the interview. That was sad. My goodness, that was sad. I've never seen stuff like this, boy. I tell you, I've never seen like this. And Itagaki leaves from the workplace, gets in the yeah. It's just Ippo at the fishing boat rental now. It's just Ippo again, because now Itagaki got his father's job. Yeah, I forget what chapter that happened in, but yeah, he got his. On which I don't see why the father haven't tried to get another job. I'm not going to support you, Mom. You're not old enough to be. I'm sorry. This might be cold-blooded. But you got some good years in your clock, Warhorse. You better get back out there and find a job. I'm not going to support the entire family, like for the rest of my life. And it's not like Itagaki had the ducats for that, but But overall, when you look at Ippo as a second, you look at Itagaki, and especially in these recent chapters, and the fact that we haven't got a direct answer to the slump, the fact that Itagaki hasn't mentioned Amai being the reason that he's in the slump, the fact that the slump somehow correlates to Ippo's retirement, it can't be by coincidence. It can't be just by a what if or but. I think I'm telling you, Itagaki is going to leave the gym. It's enough that Itagaki is already plotting behind Ippo's back. But at this point, you look at the evidence, it's actually because of Ippo. How is Itagaki getting jammed up and traumatized like he's Miyata? At least Miyata has a reason. But it seems like with Ippo, just, hey Ippo, look at this. I can do it just like you can. I've made multiple videos about this specimen, and it keeps getting stranger. The evidence is stacking up. I think it's because of Ippo. I'm telling you, the betrayal is happening. It is going to happen. He will leave that gym. Because like I said before, eventually Tei and Kitaujin get some development, and it's not like we can't have all 7 of those guys in the gym. But we all know what happened the last time a new guy showed up at the gym. Yamada was gone by that time. And then Itagaki became the honorary 5th member. Yeah. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, it's not like we haven't seen stuff like this before. That's all I'm saying, Johnny. But yeah, I don't know you guys' thoughts and opinions on what's your thoughts on Ippo as a second, because you already heard my chapter review. That was a disgrace. Like the fact that Ippo was like, well, you know, he started to feel better when Mishiba told him some words of encouragement. What are you talking about? Told him some words of encouragement. What about you? That was an embarrassment. That was one of the worst matches I've ever seen this guy can have. Like that's disgusting. And you got nothing to say to him? You got nothing to say? At least Shinoda would do what Shinoda does, alright? But even then, Shinoda was also part of the problem. So even then, if you look from the viewpoint that it's not Shinoda as a bad trainer, it's just for that Shinoda is a bad matchup for a trainer with Itagaki. It still proves that no one at Kurogama Gym can actually train Itagaki the way he needs to be trained. Like there's no escape from this. Itagaki is leaving the gym one way or another. Y'all could say maybe somebody might have some difference of opinion. Maybe they can come up with this or that, but he's leaving the gym because it always comes back to Ippo. It always does. The evidence matches up. The jealousy matches up. The way how he's trying. Like look, and once again, look at him compared to Amai. Amai want to prove himself against the previous generation, the previous 4 horses of the Rookie Kings of Japan. What does the Itagaki do with this? Well, nah. Are you gonna fight Amai? Nah. You gonna fight Hoshi? Nah. And then the fact that he almost lost to a Filipino ranker that was ranked lower to him is disgusting. It makes me wanna puke. It's not like he can't get a match. Actually, I don't know if they could make that match between Itagaki and Miyata. That would be an interesting matchup. Itagaki versus Miyata. That would be one for the ages. But I still put my money on Miyata. Itagaki has the speed. He does have the speed, but he doesn't have the counter speed. It all depends how the winner turns out. It all depends. But overall, I don't think I hear your guys' thoughts and opinions about this whole concept of a video. Because if you think about it, in my opinion, it does match it up. It does seems like, once again, Ippo is the core problem with Itagaki. And everything's going through his entire career. And it will equal up to Itagaki leaving. I will promise you that. Because I just continue to look at it. Because I can't remember the guy's name, but he left a comment about what type of match, what type of video was that? Wait, was it? Oh yeah, Grandmaster Beloved Wizard, him. It was like, he needs a new trend. I was like, hey. And look at the evidence. It's Ippo. It's Ippo Makanauchi. I'm telling you, I might be crazy. The tinfoil hat is so strapped in. It's literally fused into my skull at this point. I got an unofficial metal plate because of the tinfoil. We look at the evidence, right? We look at that evidence. All of Itagaki's problems is purely coming from Ippo. All of them. And I do mean all of them. The inefficient trainers, him. The slum, him. The fact that he slipped up trying to overly impress and got embarrassed for a Mai, Makanauchi. The fact that Ippo never gave him a compliment, Makanauchi. The fact that he had this unusual jealousy towards Ippo, a man who pretty much did nothing to you, gave you a job, and it's just I don't know, Johnny. I don't know if the evidence matches up that it comes back to Ippo once again. Cause look at everybody else. Like Kimura's not having this problem. Aoki is actually getting better as the matches go on. I hope he finally got rid of his hemorrhoids now. I hope he can go back to doing the frog punch. Kimura just obtained a brand new ultimate technique. And it's just like, if everybody else doing all these different type of things, then why is it Itagaki improving? Why does it Itagaki having like even like Kimura threw himself on the bus against that Japanese ranker and knew that he didn't have any motivation ever since he lost in Mishima and probably could never fight him now. He said his own best friend cheated. He cheated and found him someone to get some type of drive, a rival to stay in the sport. And he went that far of criticism towards his own self. But it seems like Itagaki can't look into that same mirror. He can't face the facts. He can't face his true self. And that's what it always come down to. There are people who start to say, oh, well, you know, you can't really compare him to like a Hajime. Because, you know, it's the exact same situation. Both have excellent raw talent, good footwork, fast hands, but what happened? Mai kept depending on that raw talent, like he was going to save his life. Got knocked out by Kobashi. And it's just been a downward spree from there. Even now, he could beat most of the guys he's going against with a Mai. It's just not doing it. Like his body haven't had the proper time to heal. That accumulated damage, like Kobashi said, has taken its toll. And until he just sits back to heal, he'll have a permanent glass jaw. Because it's not like he always had the best chin, but it has degraded to the point where it's actually concerned. But it's been Mr. Shockwave King. Hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, hit subscribe, and I don't know you guys' thoughts and opinions about the whole Ippo Itagaki thing. Do you believe it all goes back to the Makanauchi? Do you believe it's Ippo's fault? Because I'm not saying it should be Ippo's responsibility, and that type of way is Ippo's fault. It's the fact that inadvertently it is Ippo's to cause Itagaki's problems. But I don't know you guys' thoughts and opinions. Please like, comment, subscribe, and then what are your thoughts about the subject? And good old friend Itagaki. It's been Mr. Shockwave King, peace.